Hello everyone, and welcome to ECON 102. My name is Thomas. I will be the instructor this semester, and here is the first video that I'm going to post on Canvas. And this video will talk about the syllabus, the rules, the marking scheme for the course, and other things. So, first of all, let's go over an overview. So, my name's Thomas. You can say VGA is the way to pronounce my name. You can also think about VGA cables, those blue cables that you plug into your computer when you want to project your screen, that you pronounce VGA. This is the closest pronunciation to my name there is. I am French. I just finished my PhD in economics at SFU last June 2020, and I will be teaching Econ 102 this semester. Maybe the most important question first, is this course difficult? Nah, don't worry about it. Just stay up to date. There will be a couple of quizzes, a midterm and an exam. I'm going to go over this in the next slide. So as long as you stay up to date, you will be fine. There will be no tutorials. So getting a tutor will be absolutely useless. Everything is in the slides and you will just have to learn the slides. Okay? There won't be any exercise that you need to solve. And if you need to understand maybe some concepts that I will be talking about, you can always come to see me in office hours. You can always send me emails. I am available pretty often and I tend to answer to emails pretty fast. And here is my email, tvigie@sfu.ca. So, how will the course be organized? I'm going to teach lectures synchronously via Zoom. So, on Canvas, you can see a section called Zoom on the side, and if you click on it, you will see a schedule of lectures and weekly office hours. If you click on them, you should be able to access the lecture without having to input any password. And if you need to input some password, the password will be 102. But I believe you won't need to. So, the way the course is going to be organized is the following. I will teach the lectures live at the designated slots. The lectures are 2 hours long on Thursdays from 10:30 to 12:20 Pacific Standard Time. I will be recording the lecture at the same time, and on Zoom you will see me as well as the slides, exactly as you can see me now. So whether you are on Zoom for the live lecture or whether you don't show up and you want to watch the recorded version later, nothing will change. I will interact with you guys on Zoom if you have any questions, and I will answer questions live. So in the recorded version, you will also see me answer questions from the chat. So the recordings will be uploaded on YouTube so that captions and subtitles will be available. YouTube generates automatic subtitles and captions, which are okay so far. Unless I talk about technical concepts, YouTube is pretty good at figuring out what I'm saying in English. I'm pretty happy about this. Although my accent is not great, apparently my English is correct enough for YouTube to generate decent captions and subtitles. But you won't need to go to YouTube to access my videos. My videos will be uploaded on Canvas. The same way this one will be uploaded on Canvas, you will see something called syllabus or lecture 1 or week 1, lecture 1, something like that you can click on, and on Canvas, the YouTube player will be directly available. You just have to click on play, and then in the settings, you can choose the quality and probably you can choose caption and subtitles. There won't be any tutorials. This course is mostly about economic history. So there is nothing about solving exercises. It will be mostly about learning new concepts and learning some events and what the economic narratives are behind those events. There will be a break, reading week, from February 16th to February 19th. So that week there won't be any class, but don't skip on studying. There will be probably a quiz the week after, and I will keep you posted on Canvas regarding quizzes, midterms, and the final exam. Side note about the language. So most of us are international students, myself included. English is not my first language, so I might make mistakes. I might go too fast, maybe too slow, or my English sometimes might not be understandable because of the way I pronounce things because of my accent. If so, you need to tell me. You can always post comments on YouTube, on the YouTube lectures if you want. But if you want to directly ask on the chat, hey, can you go slower? Can you explain again? Let me know. You can always send me emails and to give me any feedback at any moment. I value feedback a lot. I just started teaching. Things are very new to me. Also, it's remote teaching, so there are a lot of adjustments that I will probably need to make during the semester. Please bear with me. I know it's difficult for you. It is also difficult for me, and I'm trying to do my best to provide a good quality content. Don't forget that SFU delivers a degree in an English-speaking country. So, especially in exams, midterms and final exams, I might ask you to answer some questions. The quality of English will also be assessed. If the marker and myself cannot understand what you are trying to say, then it will be a problem for us to understand your argument, and it will be a problem for us to understand whether you understand the content or not. And if you are afraid that your English might not be good enough, stick to simple sentences. We don't need long sentences. Short sentences will do as long as they are correct and as long as the right concepts are being used. Same when it comes to emails. We expect a minimum of courtesy, conciseness, and grammar. Knowing our names, whether you're asking the marker or myself, will be a minimum requirement. So when I see dear professor, I'm okay with it, but that's not great. I would prefer if you call by my name one way or another, my first name or my last name. Look at emails templates online if you're not sure how to go about it. But don't forget that every time you send an email to a professor or a TA, it is as if you were sending an email to a boss or your manager. So, getting a habit of writing emails in a specific format is also part of what we want to teach you at university. And believe me, this will help you a lot in the future. So, things like hi prof or hi instructor are not great. I prefer something more personal. So you could say something like, hi Thomas, why not? Dear instructor Thomas, dear Professor Thomas, Professor Vigier, why not? No need for the doctor, okay? I'm not really a medical doctor, I don't heal people. So don't need doctor, it's okay if you put it there, but don't need to be so formal. That's what I'm saying. Hi Thomas is perfect. And at the end, I will ask you to sign. So, best regards, and your name will do. Okay? Best will do. Or any other formula that is commonly used in the English language. Please use your full name. I know that many of you are using an English name for us to call you more easily. I would prefer if you use your full name. I can pronounce almost all the names in the world. Okay? Not that I speak many languages, but I can pronounce a couple of sounds that can help me at least pronounce your name. In particular, if you ask me to review a grade, it is very hard for me to find you in the roster if you give me an English name. So, give me your full name. Anyway, I want to know your name. And that will be better for all of us. It will be easier for me, and I believe it will be also more respectful. I personally prefer calling people by their full name, their real name, than any other name. Okay? So, let's get into grading now. There will be 5 quizzes. The quizzes will be made on Canvas. So, there will be usually multiple choice questions or questions like filling the blank. The quizzes will last usually 15, maybe 20 minutes at the beginning of the lectures, and I will make the quiz schedule on Canvas. Okay? Each quiz counts for 10% of the final grade. There will be a midterm exam, sometimes in the middle of the semester, maybe, probably, but I am not sure yet, after the reading break. Those lecture after the reading week. Okay? In this one, I will ask you to write things, probably by hand, and I will ask you to make sentences. There won't be a lot of math because this is an introductory course, so don't worry too much about that. And the final exam, who counts for 30% of the final grade, will also follow the same format as the midterm. It might last longer, or it might cover more content. Note that if you cannot attend the midterm exam or any quiz, you will have to provide an official justification within a week after the quiz or the midterm. It is not my requirement, it is the university requirement. In this case, the quiz or the midterm weight, whether it's 10% or 20%, will go to the final exam weight. So if you miss the midterm exam, for instance, the final exam will count for 50% of the final grade. If you don't provide any justification, your grade will be 0. So be very careful about that. So, quizzes are done on Canvas directly, as I mentioned. The marker and myself have full discretion regarding the presentation when writing exams. For quizzes, it will be multiple choice. So there won't be any problem regarding presentation. But for the midterm and the final, we might deduct marks for answers that are too hard to understand, poorly written, unclear, or messy. Remember, if the grammar is too poor, it might be impossible for us to understand your argument and whether you're saying something true or false. So naturally, marks might be deducted. Remember to write your exams as if you were writing a report to your boss. This is what you should keep in mind throughout your studies. This is one of the habits we want to teach you at university. University is not just about passing a course, getting an A, a B, or a C, and passing until you get all of your credits. It is also about preparing you for your future job. That's why I mentioned also in emails, it's good to get habits of being polite at the beginning and at the end of your email, stay concise, and maybe double check your grammar. If it's very hard for me to understand your email, then I won't be able to answer your question accurately, and it will be also a waste of time for me. Imagine I am your boss. Your boss might tell you, I don't understand what you're saying. Rephrase your stuff. Or if you write a report to your boss, but it's too hard for the boss to understand, then the boss will tell you, I don't understand what it means. You have to redo it. You have a day. Rewrite everything. So get good habits now, and you won't face those problems once you start working. Remember that you are expected to show your answers or arguments. We are not supposed to look for them. We're not supposed to make efforts to understand them. By reading the sentence once, we are supposed to understand right away what you mean. Yes, the answer is true. Yes, growth will happen. Okay? Now, is this class useful? I know a lot of you are just starting your studies and you are not decided yet about whether you want to go for an econ major, econ minor, or not econ at all. This class is still useful whether you plan to do economics or not. First of all, we will broadly cover different economic topics that will come back in other classes. Maybe 103, maybe 105, and maybe 201, 302, and so on, if you decide to keep doing economics. Otherwise, it is always useful to have a grasp of some basic economic concepts because we all live in the economy. So knowing what GDP means when countries are talking about growth, knowing what the basic concepts of international trade are is always useful. After all, most of us in this course are international students. So most of us are traveling, most of us are living in a foreign country, and we might have to deal with international business in the future. Although the course is mostly history, it is important to understand the economic narratives behind the past events to apprehend today's economic reality better. Why is the economy in the state it is at today? It is not just because coronavirus, who just hit 1 year ago. It is a consequence of 2,000 years, even a bit more, of history. What happened 2,000 years ago might not be very useful, but what happened 100 years ago is going to be very useful if you want to understand why Canada is trading with those countries, why European Union is the way it is, and so on and so forth. Don't forget to have fun learning this course. Not everything might be of interest to you. There might be some parts which are more boring than others, but try to have fun. Everything is useful. No knowledge is wasted. That is it for this introduction to the course. So this is how lectures are going to look like. Okay, of course, lecture notes are going to be a bit longer. I will post the lecture notes on Canvas before the lecture. Then I will teach the lecture notes during the lecture, record the lectures. They will be available afterwards on Canvas. There will be quizzes, 5 quizzes, midterm, exam. And if you have any other questions, let me know. I'm always available. I'm looking forward to meeting you next week for the first lecture. Have a good one. Bye.